Harbinger Winery was started in 2004, in my mind. In 2005, I actually moved into this space here, our logging truck, now turned winery shed, and we call it sheet metal chic, actually. And it started all with me realizing at a tender young age that I was going to have to work for the next 50 years or so. And I thought, you know, I better do something that's kind of fun with my life, because I'm going to have to work for the next 50 years. And so I had a couple other jobs at the time that were more corporate oriented. I had been an entrepreneur before. I had an espresso stand. I knew what it was like to work for myself. I had worked for my grandmother, who had several restaurants in the service industry. And I thought, you know, that's something I can do. I would like to do something for myself. I really appreciated wine at the time, and I had made wine since I was 19, mostly for my family. I was a beer drinker at that time, and so I decided, well, why don't I try and make wine for a living? And I thought, well, the best way to do that is to probably get an apprenticeship. And so I approached a few different wineries about that option, and Olympic Cellars in Port Angeles called me back. The previous owners, Dan Caudill, he said, if you're serious, come on down. This was for the harvest of 2000, and we'll get you going. And so I worked the harvest of 2000 with him under his tutelage. And after the first day of sweeping grapes off the floor, I realized that I'd found my niche. I stayed with Olympic Cellars through 2004 when I decided that I was actually going to leave and then open my own winery at that time. Today we produce about 3,000 cases of wine, and we get our grapes from about 8 different vineyards here in Washington State, most of them from the east side of the Cascades. Quite a bulk comes from Sagemore Farms, which is over in the Tri-Cities area. We get our Sara out of there, our Cab Franc, some of our Cabernet Sauvignon. Another vineyard that we get a lot of fruit out of is in the Rattlesnake Hills appellation, and there's actually two vineyards there. One is called Two Coyote Vineyard. We get our Viognier and some of our Malbec out of there. And then also Elephant Mountain Vineyards. Both wonderful vineyards, just doing a great job. What we pride ourselves the most on here at Harbinger Winery is the personal touch that we put into each bottle. And we want you to be able to take home something that you're going to be proud to share with your family. And that's something that we look forward to when we taste you through our wines each day. That's something that we look forward to sharing with you. And we want you to have a great experience here, personal experience. There's several things I think that make Harbinger Winery unique. First and foremost is probably our labels. We work with the different artists around not only Washington State, but also just throughout the U.S. And we really try and pair our wines with the label, if I can say that. For example, our 2009 Viognier has artwork from Erica Shriver, I do believe, from New York City. And it's the picture of Rapunzel, who is like this really heady blonde. And it's just so reminiscent of what the personality of that wine is all about. And so we do that with each and every one of our wines. And I think it just really really pushes home that fact that wine is art in a bottle. So another unique aspect of Harbinger Winery is the wines that we produce are small lots. You know, we don't make anything that's more than several hundred cases each. I really try and showcase the vineyard and the fruit from that vineyard, and we make a ton of different wines. We probably have a dozen that we are tasting at the moment, and it really gives the consumer an idea of what is available from that vineyard and what Merlot tastes like, for example, from this vineyard in this region. And it's a lot of fun to do it that way. It makes the wine so much more unique, I do believe. And it gives us just a different angle on all the different wines there are out there. And if you live out of town, you can visit us on the web, where all of our wines are available.